Welcome, welcome. This session will help you to understand your patterns and why you behave certain way, or more importantly, why you feel certain way. So enjoy it. Welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm so happy connecting with you here as well. I am very excited about this topic because it can be life-changing topic for many of you. So we're gonna be exploring this. I'll be sharing my experiences, and I'll be also sharing what I've seen with others by doing many sessions with others. It's I believe that people should know more about this topic, and because it will help people to understand why they behave certain way, why they feel a certain way. Most importantly, I know how this has helped me and truly change many things in my life. And the same I see with others when I do sessions with them. Angela, so this is gonna be topic about I will be sharing here about programming that are coming from and beliefs from pregnancy and giving birth. So basically, when you were in your mother womb, when she was pregnant with you, but also people who are pregnant right now or planning having children or having children, this will also help you to understand your children. Or if you're preparing for pregnancy, this will help you as well to know what you need to heal still, so you're not passing down certain things on your babies. So yes, this is a big topic because um, deep programming and beliefs and traumas can come from, and also illnesses can already start in the womb state, basically from the moment of being conceived. And I'll give you some example here. I will share also my journey to give you some real examples so you can maybe relate to certain things and know why you attracting certain situation, or why you attracting certain people, or why you are feeling certain way about yourself. um, I am also currently pregnant as well, so um, this topic gave me many clues, about how to go from my pregnancy with my baby now. And that's why I definitely invite everyone listening this, because it doesn't matter whether you already have children or whether you are planning. It's a um, I definitely think that everyone should know this and definitely dive deeper into this topic. Thank you, Stephanie. So some tribes believe that two-thirds of your energy in your daily life going or is being used or spent or wasted sometimes because of how's the pregnancy of your mom with you, or how's the labor, and what happened after birth. This is how much energy we are using for, this is what they believe, because of those programming, traumas, beliefs, decisions that we made, vows as well. So I will be exploring this with you as well, because I definitely seen in my life and doing many sessions. I see this with other people, how is this affecting and impacting their life in every single area of their life, whether it's career, business, money, love, attracting new opportunity, whatever, however you call that, any area of your life is gonna be impacted by certain decisions that you made when you were in the womb. Of course, not only here, of course, what's happened later as well. However, this is like I see from what I've seen during doing so many sessions with people, I see that this is the most impactful. It's so deep that people may feel like they've been doing different things and still they feel certain way and they don't know why. And even myself, I was doing so many healings, and until I started really diving deeper what's happened in this actually first part of my life, the moment I was conceived, it gave me so many clues. For example, my anxiety of feeling constantly like I am burdened, like I am unwanted, and no matter what I was doing, I still had um, this feeling. So I will be exploring this with you here today. So hopefully this will help you to understand yourself basically and your patterns, and why things showing up in your life the way they are showing up. And I welcome questions, of course. I will answer the best I can as well, based on my experiences. Hey, Marina. So everyone, welcome here. All these brave souls wanting to know what is going on with you. I have plenty of notes here because this is such a deep topic that we could actually spend here really few hours. And but I will be just going through and give you some kind of clues, um, you know, so then you may, of course, this is group stuff and I don't even cannot much interact with you, so it's there are some limitation with this. Definitely this is, I'm not going to do some, I often do like energy healing, but I'm not going to do energy healing on womb stuff, because this is so deep that this is only for one-on-one session. Because if we trigger something, your trauma or something that we open certain womb, last things that I want is someone is open with that, and we cannot close that. And like I said, there's so many things can show up during the healing that it's like really, like we have to be careful with this and knowing how to close things, and that you feel whole and complete, not being open and very raw. This is the last things I want for people. I've experienced this myself when during healing something was open and the people couldn't help me to close this, and it was absolutely dreadful being in relieving trauma literally and not knowing what to do. And so definitely I will be doing energy clearing as well and healing here, but I will not be diving into this womb stuff because like I said, and you will see when we're gonna be talking about this, how many layers they are, and we have to really know what we are doing to do healing on this, because it's easy to open things, and we don't need to we can heal things without re-traumatizing ourselves basically. And this is what, at least for me, this is main things, like to do it as easy as possible, as gentle as possible, and clear that so we can really feel whole and complete as easy, as fast as possible. So I welcome all the questions. Of course, I will try to answer as best as I can based on my experiences with, through my journey and also working with other people. So let's go through where the programming can start. So the programming already can start from the moment when you were conceived, and actually even pre that. You can have already soul contracts, like a kind of link with your incarnations. So I give you some examples what kind of programming already can be imprinted in you. So for example, not wanting to be incarnated. I had sessions one with a lady just maybe a few days ago, that she really felt like she shouldn't be here. She wanted to go home. And, she's been attracting many situations and so on, and literally not knowing how to ground on this planet. So we were clearing this program, basically, that not wanting to be incarnate. She even said to me, I felt like I don't know, someone told me I didn't want to incarnate, but some force or someone told me that I should be in this time. And she's beautiful soul, like definitely she's got some mission here to help humanity. But on soul level, somewhere before she incarnated, she just didn't want. She was like, she even told me, this is her words, like I felt that I was persuaded to incarnate in this time. And that's why, how it's been showing up in her life, that it's like this feeling like I shouldn't be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this stuff, and, uh, stuff coming up, different family situations, so on. So you can have this feeling that, yeah, not wanting to be here. This is quite common especially people who are having some like missions here and supposed to support humanity. I actually hear this quite often. Um, you can have also not feeling unwanted, feeling rejected by mother and father here as well. Not wanting to be born in certain gender. So, for example, I had sessions where there was the belief that I don't want to be born as a woman, or I don't want to be born as a man. And then, of course, those people were born in in this sex, and again, lots of challenges were coming their way. Um, let's say if the spirit didn't want to incarnate as a woman because there was a fear of this, of course, there's lots of this person could be born somewhere in very difficult family situation, lots of abuse, even sexual abuse, very much disconnected with her period or with the womb, not knowing how to connect with womb, not appreciate woman body, body curves, like hips and breasts and so on. So until this person really start being more conscious and healing this, so this can show up, and you may not even understand, why am I feeling like I never wanted to be woman, this can happen. I had quite few sessions like that. um, and there is many programming that can come through incarnations, feeling abandoned from God. So this means that it will be very hard for you to believe that you are supported by life, by source, by universe, whatever you call that. Now, lots of traumas coming from womb. So in the womb, and to be honest, this topic is so big that, like I said, to giving you all the examples, we could stay here for like hours, because everyone is kind of different. And if you're ever gonna be brave to dive deep into this, you'll be so surprised how much gonna come up for you, because in a different stages of the pregnancy, different things can come up. So basically, you can feel like you are suffocating. There's not enough space in the womb for you to move. You can have that you're not feeling nourished because maybe your mom didn't eat enough nutrition food. She was not in her body as well. So it can affect you that you don't know how to connect with your body or being in your body, and feeling very dissociated with your mother, or with your mother, or having difficulty to connect with her on a more deeper level, like soul heart level. um we can take lots of emotions from, we normally do take lots of emotions from mom. So that's why, it's important how the mom is feeling during pregnancy. So I had sessions where, and kind of few sessions about the same topic, where the baby, it's so entangled with mother emotions that her life, how it's showing, that she's so connected with her mom, even she's grown up woman now, that constantly worrying about mom, like having even obsessive worrying or even anxiety. Is my mom, or is if her mom is going through something, she's really worrying about this, to the point that she can even become ill, and vice versa. It can be so entanglement between mother and daughter that becomes actually toxic, like very codependent energy. So I had few sessions like this, very common, where I can see people don't know, and like for all of us, lots of that we literally need to learn what is ours and what is our mom, what is ours and what is our father, what is ours and what is our environment. Lots of sessions I had, and even with myself as well, I had to uh, heal that what is my mom, it's my mom, because I also had this over mothering then instinct and literally mothering my mom. So so imagine how life is hard. You're dealing with your own journey, your own life, and then I've been constantly mothering my mom. Even when I was age 7 or 9 or 20 or whatever age I was literally mothering my mom. That's the truth. So by healing this, so this came from womb as well. When I noticed that I'm so entangled with her, and my father was an alcoholic, so there was lots of abuse happening there and fear. So my instinct was to protect her. So I grew up. I had the belief coming from the womb that I have to protect my mom. And guess what I was doing all my life? I was like her bodyguard, you know. I could give you many stories, like when even my father was very aggressive towards her and beating her up and so on. I had to stood between him and my mom, no matter age I was. Literally, I remember when I was age 3 and I was already running towards my father and begging him to leave my mom. Or when I grew up more, like was 14, 15, I literally physically had to fight with him to protect my mom. So can you see how these certain beliefs can truly impact your life? And until you heal that, you are in this energy. So I see quite often when the client is struggling, you know, like over worrying, overdoing for mom, you know, like I was overprotecting, this coming from the womb, this coming from the trauma of the womb, because maybe the relationship between mother and father wasn't that great as well. So this can come from there as well. Lots of beliefs I just share with you, what I see over and over again. It's when one of the parent is not ready for having babies. Let's say father is don't want actually children, mother of course wants, or they feel too young as well. Again, you can have sensations of feeling all your life that you are unwanted, you are burden, um, you are disappointment, you are mistake. This kind of underlying feeling. I had this definitely that, because my mom got pregnant very young. They were children themselves. You know what is 19? 19 is nothing. So I had this underlying feeling that I felt unwanted, and this is quite common. I see this on sessions quite often when we're doing this specific sessions on birth, basically in pregnancy. Especially if your mom went through big stress during pregnancy. Let's say could be the father left her during pregnancy, or someone. I had sessions as well, like the mother was cheated on by her partner. So she was going through, of course, grief and sadness as she was pregnant. So the client was dealing with number one, numbness, lots of numbness, not knowing how to connect with the feelings, but lots of anger, lots of anger. So she had so many layers of anger to clear. And this anger literally created many illnesses in body, because often when you're dealing with the physical body, it's very much linked with the emotion being trapped in your system. So for her was anger. And I can definitely relate to this, because I had deep anger towards my father, and I did so many other things, and still this deep core anger was still I could feel in my belly, like literally in the womb or like lower belly. So I I know when we have this core anger and no matter what we do, we cannot shift. This means that something deeper needs to, we need to go even deeper. So I had a client and she was manifesting so many physical illnesses, not having energies, constantly dealing with pain in her body. Pain in body definitely is linked with anger and many other feelings. So if you feel like you're raging constantly, you have this deep anger, this may mean that yes, you took this during the pregnancy womb. And any other womb traumas can happen during like infection, for example. Like I said, if there is abuse happening or mother going through some deep stress like losing her parents or partner or things like that, this is huge stress. So definitely this is trauma for the baby. Ultrasound, very important. It also linked is if your mom, let's say, miscarriage or did abortion before you, this definitely impact you, because especially if mother didn't grieve properly and heal that broken heart or really complete the grief, definitely gonna impact the next baby. So if you are the next baby and you feel like you're carrying the sadness maybe, or have more tendency to be depressed, or again feeling like you shouldn't be here. I had actually one session as well now, I remember, when this lady was having this underlying feeling like she doesn't deserve to be here. So when we dive deeper and we did this womb, birth, pregnancy healing, it was very obvious that her mom didn't grieve this. She just basically suppressed that, the previous miscarriage. And there was, of course, lots of fear coming from her mom about this pregnancy with the client. But she had this underlying energy, I shouldn't be here. The first baby, the baby before who was, a miscarriage, should be here. So yeah, of course, this impacts you, how you feel about yourself, how you show up in life, whether you are, confident or no, whether you feel to have rights to live in abundance or deserving many great things like relationships and doing what you're supposed to do. Now, twins as well. I had recently sessions as well with one lady that there were twins, but one was basically missing. So she's been dealing nearly whole life with struggling with trust. And no matter what she was doing, generally she's struggling to trust people. She feels very alone and she feels like she's there for everyone, but no one is there for her. And also this is really impacting her relationships. So very hard for her to trust men, and therefore if you don't trust men, she's attracting certain types of men, like they are not, for example, available and so on. So so when we did womb healing, it was very clear that because the other twin was missing, basically was lost, she felt like betrayed and broken heart. So we were doing healing on this, and therefore she could finally feel release that lack of trust, basically. And of course, this is journey. There are many layers to that as well, but this was the prime energy, that was this lack of trust, lack of trusting others, that they betray me, the broken heart that hasn't been healed, because this happened in the womb stage. So imagine, like, people more normally are not conscious about this stuff. That's why I actually love talking about this, to help people to have this awareness, because you may do other things and it's like, why the hell am I still feeling that way? And this is because it's coming from the womb, and we don't have conscious memory. We have very much unconscious memory and body memories, So many things can happen during womb. Also, I had sessions, and I know for some of you this can be unbelievable. So just ignore this. You just take what is useful for your growth and rest leave it. Because I know this is very advanced level and not everyone believes that, and it's okay. We are where we are and we believe what we believe, and it's fine. So for those who don't believe, it's okay. Yeah, so just you can ignore that part if this is too much for you. Because I also work very much on multidimensional levels. So what is really how is some energies are impacting you, how you feel and how you function basically in life, how you show up in life. It's not only emotions and thinking and body, we are multidimensional. So also you have lots of stuff in your field. So I had sessions as well when there was interference basically of other energies like entities or other experimentations on a multidimensional level by extraterrestrials, and who, when you have this kind of experiences, definitely you're gonna feel very much, I don't even how to word that because there's no words for this, like not whole, not whole. Like there's some fragmentations of you. My partner as well had extraterrestrial abductions, but this was after birth, not during the pregnancy, and it takes time to live and why you feel so disconnected, or why you feel it can affect your body as well, how you feel in your body. You may never feel safe because if you think the boundaries were crossed big time, big time. So you can be there can be interference as well on multidimensional level as well. So I'm just bringing this up because most people are not aware about this. So that's the reason why I'm sharing with you, because you may feel like fragmented, like feeling disconnected, but not only disconnected. I'm not talking about this humanly say like disconnected with your body, which definitely can show up, like with my partner for sure. When I was doing healing on him, I was like, I've never experienced this. I never experienced this kind of disconnection. I experience all the time when people are very much disconnected with their feelings. They don't want to connect with their body and so on. That's normal for most people. But with him was on multidimensional level, like it when I connected with his field or in his body, literally some part of the body was like empty box, like this emptiness. And I'm like, I've never experienced that. Like I couldn't get through it. It was like this metallic box which you literally even cannot enter. So of course this can show up in in many different ways on a physical level, and how you're feeling about yourself, and the way how you're connecting with yourself or not connecting with yourself, not being connected with yourself. So can have many implications here as well. So I'm just putting out there because definitely this can happen. And not only during pregnancy, but if you experience some shock and trauma as well. I had one lady just maybe a month ago, I did session, and what came up to her, she was as well not feeling safe. And what came up that when she was, I don't remember, I think she was 3, she fall from the stairs into like the underground room basically, and she lost consciousness. And so of course we were doing a healing on this trauma and everything, and then it was very like I could literally see that in this moment these experimentations were also done on her. This is very common. So when we were just clearing this, she could feel more whole and safe in her body. So of course this can happen in any stage of your life. Next thing that why you may feel certain way is basically that you make some decisions during the pregnancy, so the womb decisions. And this is so common, and I see this all the time. It's like a belief. Basically you created a belief and you took it as a truth. Some people even have vow, And vow is stronger than belief. So what is the difference? That when you create a vow with yourself, this carry through all your lives, even future lives. So if you even created certain vow in your past lives, until you break that vow, it's gonna continue and show up in your life certain ways, and you can feel it even if you didn't have big traumas. If you had if you created a vow in past lives, for example, I'm not safe to share my gifts, for example, I'm not safe to speak up. So often I see this. Until you actually clear this vow and break this vow, it's gonna continue until next life, next incarnation, and so on. So vows are much more stronger than beliefs, just limiting beliefs, basically. So many sessions, very common that, we all have vows, let's be honest. In some point, either in this incarnation or past incarnations, we've created some vows. I've cleared so many with myself, and I'm still uncovering sometimes. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. So it's ongoing journey of uncovering what you've created, with yourself. But some womb decision can be something like, I need to hide. I'm not safe, so I need to hide. And how this can show up in your life, that you're hiding. You're not really showing yourself. Number one, you're putting some mask. You're trying like a chameleon, being in between people, and because you're camouflaging, or literally not showing your gifts and talents, and you're constantly hiding. Maybe the belief can be, or the decision, I need to stay small and limited. Limit my expansion. Very often I see this. Playing basically small. I'm not gonna show who I am. Again, very common. I see this very often. This one as well. I need to look after everyone else first. Oh, I have goosebumps and energy going from me. So this means that lots of you have this kind of, in this group, basically this is common belief here. Everyone is first, I am last. Like I was even sharing, I was always mothering since I remember my mom. So you can have energy that you need to take care of other people. Always they are first. Yeah. I have lots of energy here. So lots of people here having this. And people who have this belief, we all know it's exhausting. It's exhausting constantly taking care of other people's needs. Are they safe? Are they okay? Blah, blah, blah. All of that. And overgiving yourself, literally sacrificing your life or health or happiness, relationship for others. I was there. This was definitely me. And now it's completely different the moment I shifted that. At the age of 20, I felt like I am 80. I was so tired of life because I felt like I need to look after my brother, my mom, maneuver, constantly check what is going on with my father and how I need to behave, because whether to run or escape from home for some hours, because I never knew how it's gonna be. So it's often people feel like lots of tension in the shoulders because you're having this burden. I need to take care of the world. I need to take care of the whole planet or people or family. It's heavy. So if you even tap in your shoulders now and they may be heavy, just ask yourself, who you're carrying there. Because I was carrying my whole family. And even when I had my spiritual awakening and realized that this is what I need to do, I need to support people with their awakening and healing. Gosh, I was still on a mission to help everyone and help to heal everyone. Gosh, can you imagine how heavy this was until I realized I had to heal this even on a deeper level? Now I don't have it. I can only support people who are coming to me and ready for this and asking for this. And life feels so much better. And I don't need to look after my mom at all. I mean, of course, I care of her, but it's not coming from this shadow energy, from this pattern, from this trauma, basically. Um, Another belief very often when it's the womb decision, I need to fit in. So literally people can sell their soul in order to fit in. And I had client as well that she was doing crazy jobs just to be seen, just to be acknowledged, just to prove that she's worthy to be seen. Uh, Literally on soul level, she was selling her soul because this is how badly she wanted to fit in and be appreciated, acknowledged, loved. Yeah. So imagine what this was creating. She was attracting very unhealthy relationship, very toxic, completely being burned out on every single level. Because how long you can pretend someone else? How long you can play this game? It's exhausting. And the womb decision also can be, I must not be born, so I don't want to be born as well. Yeah. So imagine what can create in your life, like not enjoying your life at all, not feeling like you're deserving things, very hard to receive love and support, and not feeling like home basically here. No matter what you do, where you live, it's just not feeling like home here on this planet. So is this helping you? I just want to get some feedback. Of course, there's so much and I will be sharing more, but I'm just for now want to ask, is this helping you to maybe understanding why you feel about yourself certain way, or where this certain patterns coming from? Is this helping you? Awesome, Natalie. I highly recommend it. Oh my God, your life will become so much easier when you really diving into this and do proper clearing healing. This is really core. Awesome. Amazing, Rachel. And this is exactly my intention for this session. Is exactly was what Rachel shared with us, that so you have realization, about certain beliefs that you've created long time ago, before even you were born here. And that's why you understand why this energy is like constantly there in your field, in your body. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Angela. Sending you so much love, and to your nephew, Spirit, for easy transition. So next things where you can get some beliefs again is again, as a baby, like I said, again, this is very much, you will uncover so much when you really do proper session on that. So often I see that the baby taking, like they are feeling guilty because they've created pain to their mother. Very common. I see this quite often, and then again, you can live all your life with this energy, like with the guilt basically, and you don't know even where the guilt come from. Is it can come from that you've created the pain to your mother, yeah, or you disappointed her as well. So when you have this belief, I disappoint my mother, or I disappoint others, guess what you're gonna be doing in life? Constantly seeking approval, constantly seeking love from others, and doing everything to be loved. Yeah, because you don't want to disappoint them. You're gonna even sacrifice your relationship, your health, your happiness for others because you don't want to disappoint them. You'll be scared to maybe say no to them or have healthy boundaries with them because you don't want to disappoint them. Yeah, this is Angela, lots of love for you, and I see that people are sending you love. That's really sad. Um, yeah, I don't know even what to say, because there's no words to express that, just sending you lots of love and wishing you that please do feel the grief and sadness, allow yourself to grieve, because this is big one. Don't suppress that. Now, you also can have very negative imprints. I'm just going to continue. Negative imprints from people. So, for example, if the baby is in the womb, or you know already after the labor, you also can take imprints from other people, like doctors, midwives, nurses, other relatives as well. I had as well recently sessions, and there was home birth, and basically it was so much anger, um, so much anger in the house. Like, it seems like parents were very frustrated with the help that they got it by the midwife. So there was lots of anger, so the baby could feel the anger, um, when she was born, that she could feel the imprints of other people's emotions. So what can also, how this can show up in your life, then you are gonna be very sensitive how other people feeling, especially on anger. Yeah, Angela, people sending you so much love here. So nice to see this. So again, this is how you now basically train to constantly maneuver and trying to maybe please people so they don't feel angry, or do whatever they want, so they don't feel certain emotions. And maybe even you are scared to speak up your truth, again, because you don't want to hurt them, because you don't want to experience maybe this anger or rage, or maybe you can feel guilty that your parents were angry or feeling helpless, or you may feel helpless as well. Energy can show up in many different ways. I'm just giving you some examples. Now, another things, traumas can come, of course, during the labor, big one, if it's complicated, whether you were born with, cord around your neck, or it was a breech birth, or you were too fast, or too, people saying late baby, or, premature. Definitely this can impact you, how you feeling. That's why I said some tribes believe that 2/3 of energy is going on certain patterns because of the pregnancy and labor and afterbirth traumas. So for example, if you were late baby, you can feel like you are late with life, or late with project, or late going everywhere. If you were basically, they used the forceps and they pulled you, basically you could feel like you couldn't complete your natural birth journey by yourself. So they make you unable to do it by yourself. So in life you can feel like I am incompetent, and I am not good enough to finish certain project, to achieve my goals or dreams. So there is feeling like you cannot do it by yourself. Like there is disbelief or not believing in yourself enough that you can achieve certain things. If you have cord around neck, again, how this can show up, that you feel choked, not be able to, not safe, not speaking up with your truth as well. 2 months premature after my mom having rupture. Yeah, that's big one, Evie. Oh, this is big trauma for you. Because you're gonna feel forced, or being born when you're not ready. Yeah. So this can how this can show up maybe in your life, lots of anxieties, lots of fears as well, not feeling safe, maybe even feel like being forced to be out there, but not being ready truly for that yet. Yeah. So I hope this helps you, that how this can then show up in your life, how you feeling about yourself. And hello, Netherlands and New Zealand, awesome. Again, C-sections as well can feel like very similar, like Evie was sharing, being premature as well, like you are not able to complete the natural journey of labor. So again, lots of feeling, maybe hopelessness even can be, or not being able to finish things because this is how what the imprints and trauma can bring, and being trapped in your system basically. Okay, Naomi, they had to use forceps, yeah. So Naomi, how you feeling in your life? Is it feeling like you are pulled, because this is forceps, so energy, so the imprints can stay like yeah, I have to be pulled. Maybe you feel controlled by people or being pushed by people, I'm just curious how this is showing up for you, because there is certain imprints. Yeah, exactly, Naomi. Yeah. So you see how this can then manifest in your whole life. Like I'm forced, I'm pulled, I'm controlled, maybe I'm manipulated, isn't it? And not able to control my own journey of birth, basically, in labor. So this is how can then show up also in your life. It can show up attracting certain relationships, or have feeling very lost. Absolutely. Sarah, I have so much energy for you. This is what needs to be healed. I'm just getting messages for you, Sarah. Absolutely. Confusion, feeling lost, very common in this kind of situation during birth, very often. And people feeling lost, not trusting themselves, not trusting their instinct, because of course if you have cesarean or just being pulled by forceps as well, it's like I'm lost, I'm confused, I'm being pulled, yeah. Especially cesarean is big one, big trauma for baby as well. So I'm getting lots of energy for you, that this is something that definitely is invitation for you to dive deep and do healing on that. Naomi as well, of course, being forceps is as well, feeling lost. Everything that any intervention during labor, when people just force you or take you out, of course you're feeling like I'm fucking confused, and therefore this confusion can be your underlying feeling during your whole life, not trusting your intuition, not trusting yourself enough, very being easily manipulated or pulled by other people's suggestions or beliefs. Yeah, can also to that go that you attracting some toxic even relationships, very manipulative or controlling. And of course you can experience also post-birth different things, like the cord is cut too soon, so common. Yes, Sarah, exactly that. So cutting cords too soon, again, it's like it's shock for baby, because all the nutrition and oxygen and everything is being cut immediately. So you can feel in body, like in during life, like how the shock in trauma can show up. It can be like you don't deserve to be nurtured, you don't deserve to receive. Yeah. Something is incomplete, that you didn't have enough time, that the cord stop pulsing naturally, and then you can do the transition more organic way, instead of like having this cut. And again, shock, yeah. Again, this can come up with many syndromes in your body, but also anxiety, maybe in the fear and things like that. So I'm just sharing, I'm just trying to see if I'm getting any messages on that as well. But this is very often, like, let's be honest, like when I was born, this was common practice in hospitals. And then you're carrying this shock and trauma in your system, not feeling safe. Yeah. Sarah, my hips were not developed properly when I was born, so I was in a hip brace for first 18 months of my life. Big trauma to clear. Highly recommend diving deeper into this, Sarah. This is big one, because again, the beliefs and vows that you could create in this moment when they put these braces on you, it's like I'm not able to walk through my life, or other, like I am trapped in many different ways, and so on. So many beliefs you can create during this process as well, and this is very early trauma. So definitely big one, yeah. You can even have sense in the sense that you cannot move forward with your life in many ways. Yeah, makes sense. Awesome, that makes sense. This really helped me when I started my journey. This is what I'm sharing with you. And I'm still, sometimes recently I did healing on myself, and I was so surprised that it took me to womb healing again, but I was clearing more my father energy. I took some vows and but this was not vow, belief, because he was failing, because of course he was alcoholic, creating businesses and then failing. And I said, I was seeing that I am blocks, in my abundance, and I dived. It took me, when I was guided, it took me to this womb, and I was like, oh, I took belief. I took his lack of ability to create successful businesses. So you see, it can show up in so many different ways. What is the effect of being alone in hospital for 2 weeks due to being premature? David, is like your mom was being alone? I guess your mom was alone. This is what you mean? So, great. Actually, you just reminded me. With your mom was alone. No, I was alone. Okay, you were huge separation. This is proper trauma. When we don't have immediate contact with your mom immediately when you are born, whether you are premature or just normal birth, this is huge trauma, because it's gonna be I don't know how is your relationship with your mom, David, but definitely abandonment issue, 100%, like Sarah said here, rejection, but very hard to connect with your mom on soul level. I had this as well. My mom was bleeding. She had very complicated labor, and they basically took me away immediately. I was not breastfed, by her. So then, number one, when you're not breastfed by your mom, and because it's not only about getting the nutrition on a physical level, but more importantly, getting that being nurtured emotionally, that when you are breastfed, your mom looking into your eyes and she's touching you, then this creates a bond and feeling safe and protected. If we don't have this right after, birth, then you can have constantly feeling like you don't deserve love. It's very hard for you to receive love, receive compliments as well, or anything else. It's generally, it's very hard to connect with other people. Can be also issues with trust, and of course abandonment, rejection, so fear of being rejected, and therefore you work and prove so hard how amazing you are, so to be loved as well, or not even being capable of actually connecting with people on a deeper level, because there is this numbness, there's this still broken heart that happened during these shocking traumas. I've experienced this. I had to do quite some healing on that to be able to feel okay and whole, and really improve my relationship with my mom. What I mean, having stronger bond with her. And all my life I was thinking, why I cannot bond with my mom? Like, of course we have intellectual conversations. Of course we talk about certain things. But there is a difference between when you have intellectual conversation, or like whatever you're talking about, and when it's true soul, heart, bond, connection. There's a difference. And all my life, when I was seeing other people, how they are connected with their mom, yeah, of course I had many conversations with my mom, but there was not this deep bond until I started asking my mom, tell me more about your pregnancy. Tell me more about your labor and what's happened after labor, what's happened after birth. And she gave me this when she told me that basically I was taken away immediately and I didn't see her 2 weeks as well because she was not feeling well. Then I said, oh, okay, now I have my clue. And I did lots of healing on this, and now our relationship is improving, and the bond is stronger and stronger. 2 weeks, yes, 2 weeks. So absolutely, and again, one of the biggest fear I had, it was fear of being rejected. And you know what? I thought that fear of being rejected I have because of my father issues, because my father was an alcoholic, very abusive. I experienced lots of traumas and lots of abuse by him. So I always thought that this is coming because of this relationship with him. So of course I was doing lots of father issues and so on. But then actually I've realized, no, this goes much deeper. Because mother issues are much deeper than father issues. And then when I realized, when I dive in and I started doing healing on myself for the pregnancy and womb and labor and after labor, I've realized, no, this is actually coming from this experience. Because I felt rejected, that I didn't receive the emotional protection and safety and the feelings from my mom because we were separated, and plus she had very traumatic labor that she could have died. Basically, she was bleeding so much. So there was lots of fear of being rejected, and this played out whole my life. The moment I felt any type of rejection, even I met people and I felt the sense that they may not like me, or if I was in some relationship and the relationship was over, oh my God, this was literally end of the world for me. Because this fear of being rejected and not loved was so strong in me that this was like, I'm telling you, end of the world for me. Like my mom was saying to me, come on, just forget about him, about this boyfriend, move on. I couldn't move on. Because it triggers this prime core wound in me until I heal. I heal that. So I'm just sharing with you how this can play out in your life, yeah. And this definitely coming from pregnancy, labor, after birth. This is so deep that common sense or anything what you're doing, it doesn't justify this. You have to do deeper work. Yes, exactly, David. This is exactly what's me. I was always held on too long to people and jobs. Exactly, attachments. I always got so attached to people, to places, to situations, to jobs, and too long. And even I'm honest with you, last year I had 2 people that I needed to release from my life. Consciously, I knew this. Logically, I knew that it's not serving us, this relationship. It is not even a relationship. But there were also past life involved, which is for another topic. But again, what David mentioned, it's just this attachment. We get attached because, again, there's fear of being rejected, fear of not being loved. And the wounding is basically running our life. How I was able to heal. So I was able to heal through sessions where diving deeper into this stuff, realizing the beliefs and clearing these beliefs, basically. So this is exactly what I do. So taking you through, so basically if Yvette, I was doing healing with you, so we would go to that place and basically uncovering any beliefs that you took it at these moments, decisions that you make, and we would multidimensionally to clear, but also on an emotional level. So you're gonna feel that feelings, what you are feeling, there's a whole process of this, again, for each person is different because it depends what is happening, like there can be so many things, like it's so deep that it's like I could just one session tells you, like there's so different sessions, like the sessions are never the same. So this is how I was able to diving into this, go back to that place when I was in womb, or even when I was conceived or after labor, and then clearing all of this stuff. I was always terribly sad and upset if I have to live alone. Absolutely. This is again, if we were there was separation. This thank you for Evie for mentioning this. If there was separation, too fast separation, being pulled or cut the cords, any kind of separation, the shock and trauma can create this fear as well. Yes. And like you said, it can be this constant sadness and you don't know where this sadness come from. Or closed heart. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze, that's why I'm like touching my nose. Or not being able to open your heart for love. You kind of want love in your life, but then you can sabotage yourself with relationship because you're not able to open truly your heart for love, or you don't even believe that you deserve that amazing love. So after birth, like post birth, again, lots of stuff can happen. Like I said, you can be imprinted by doctors, midwives. I actually always clear that for clients, because we are always imprinted by other people. Even if you go for any procedures, whether you're going to dentist or whether you're going for any surgery or whether you have labor or we are always imprinted by people. So when I'm supporting people when they are going for any surgery or like any procedure, anything that people are around, the first things I'm clearing that, because we are unconsciously imprinted by their beliefs, their energies. They may be stressed out, they may be dealing with their trauma, their insecurities, they have maybe beliefs, this birth will be, for example, difficult, or if you're going for surgery, you will never heal, you'll never walk. How many times I've heard it on sessions, and I'm sure you've heard from other people, like, doctor told me that. They imprinting us with their own beliefs. And even if they don't say verbally certain words, you can sense it, you can feel it. Or even if you are not conscious about that, they imprint you. So this is also, it depends who was around you, who was supporting your mother here as well. It's so important to clear that as well. And again, can be also from shock and trauma from vaccination. Some hospitals give vaccination immediately to babies, so vitamin K and other things, antibiotics. That is also shock for baby. Absolutely. So I think I mentioned quite a lot. Of course, this is such a deep topic that this is group, so I'm just giving here general understanding here, but I know that if every single person who is on this call dive in, you're gonna have different beliefs or very similar, because some beliefs are quite common, but you're gonna be experiencing different things. Like, I've done so many sessions on this, and the sessions are never the same. They can be some common theme, like feeling burden or feeling unwanted, or there is certain energy, like fear of being rejected or not loved, but the whole experience is different, because of course you have different experience and different stories. Any questions on that? Do you have any questions? So I like to always do some energy healing, but I'm not gonna touch womb, because like I said, if I trigger here some deep stuff, I I don't want you to stay open and not be able to close. So again, you can go maybe more shallow ways, not so deep. But I always want to take responsibility for my part and not triggering something deep in people and then leaving them with that and being open. This is like the worst things for me. So I'm just thinking whether to do a very shallow part or not at all on doing different things, just helping you to feel better because I don't want to trigger big stuff for you. Do you recommend asking our parents about our birth stories? Absolutely, Rachel. Because now I hope through this session here, I've given you some understanding and awareness why you feeling certain ways, why you attracting certain things and certain people over and over again. So that's why I share with you when I ask my mom how was my birth and what's happened after. She gave me amazing clue why I've never could bond with her on a deeper level. So absolutely, just if you can speak with your mom and she can give you how she was during pregnancy, how was her connection with your father? Where they were really in love? Was he supportive? What was happening? Was she working a lot? Could she rest enough? Was she eating a lot? Oh, I give you now. Recently, I was doing. This still came up for me that I need to do a clearing on womb. And you know what came up for me? Which is topic for all my life with my mom. That I could, when I was still in her womb, this gigantic smoke of cigarettes was like literally choking me. And I was like, I'm suffocated with that smoke. And so I was doing clearing on that to be able to heal this part of me that I'm constantly suffocated. And then I was doing clearing on toxins on multidimensional level on myself due to of course this cigarettes and alcohol and so on. And I felt so much better after this. And guess what? All my life is arguments with my mom about smoking. Please don't smoke in my presence. If you want smoke, go away. And my mom always ignored me on this topic. And I always felt ignored and so hurt because of that she's not only poisoning herself, but me as well. So then when I did the healing and I saw this huge cloud literally choking me, and this anger that she's just bloody her ignoring my health, it just makes sense why I was so always angry with her. Immediately there was like a trigger. And then my mom was triggered. You're always nagging and always the same thing, you know. So it was so funny, you know. But then I said this to my mom that I did healing on myself and this is what came up. And she said, I didn't smoke when I was pregnant with you. Yes, you didn't, but you did smoke before. The nicotine was already in your body. And also, gosh, in Poland, everyone smoked. At the time, gosh, this was like, I don't know, popular. Everyone smoked. So, of course, you can also be imprinted with drugs, alcohol, you know, medicines, anything like this, 100%. So yeah, talk with your moms and dive in deep into that. I promise you how much you're gonna learn through this and heal and feel so much better about this. So yes, and I know that this is for brave souls. So Karolina, long ago you offered a list of stories that you would send to people who connect with you. Is it still offered? I would love to see that. Amma, you're talking about limiting beliefs in general. So this is not very much specific into what I'm talking about, but yes, absolutely. I have still this list. So I basically, during so many sessions I've been doing with people, I've finally started collecting the limiting beliefs because there was common theme. People were coming with me either with stories about love, they couldn't find the right person, or they were in toxic relationships. So I started collecting these beliefs basically, and there's on the list over 220 or something like this limiting beliefs, but there's so much more than this. And then other lists I created about money, success, and business. Because this was another topic people were coming, like, being scared to create their businesses or own their talents and show up and charge for this. And of course, lots of limiting beliefs about money, not deserving charging, and so on. So I have this list. Absolutely, if you connect with me, I'm happy to share with this and show you how to do the muscle test so you can uncover your limiting beliefs as well. So yeah, you can have fun, because awareness is number one first step for any change. If you don't have awareness, then how the hell are you gonna change anything or even ask for help? You first need to have awareness what is going on, and then that's why watching patterns is gonna give, this tells you a lot. Your intuition, of course, some of you, you know what your beliefs are already, but the next step is what you're gonna do. Some stuff you can very much clear by yourself. Some beliefs are easy to clear, just bringing awareness. For example, I don't know how to manage money. It's easy to clear, because you can have confusion because your mom was overspending, your father was holding too much money, and therefore confusion, you don't know how to do it. So just educating yourself, creating different accounts, so you really let's say make, okay, this amount of money goes always for rent and bills, this amount of money going for my investment in myself or education, and this money going for, I don't know, saving for something bigger. Through educating yourself, being aware and choosing, you can clear these limiting beliefs. Some beliefs are medium, so they need more time, and some beliefs, like I've shared with you, they are core, which are linked with traumas, and definitely with trauma during pregnancy and birth. For this, you need someone to help you. I'm honest with you. You're not gonna be able to go so deep and see what is there on many levels, on emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic level. For core, you need someone. You need to work with someone. So yeah, happy to share anytime, no problem. I have this. How did you realize you have such a talent, Karolina? From my own shit. I've experienced lots of traumas. Like I said, I've experienced abuse, severe abuse during my childhood, and even I shared with you, like even birth and so on. My father was very creative. So I had soul contract with him, please, Dad, abuse me as hell. And please abuse me so much so then I cannot believe in myself. I don't trust myself. I feel like basically no one and zero and so on. And lots of depressions, anxiety through all my life as well. For sure not believing in myself, zero self-esteem. But then the other side, I was very resilient. I went through this stuff, this shit. And then my awakening happening when my brother committed suicide. And this really hit me, because I felt like I'm not only losing brother, but I lost my child, because I shared with you, my thing was mothering everyone. So I mother also my brother. And yes, through this experience, the spiritual awakening started happening, and I realized, and I am previous accountant, so just for people who don't know, I am previous accountant. Suddenly I realized I didn't have any mentor. And that's why I like sharing stuff with you, because it will help you on your journey. Like I didn't have this informations or anything. I literally had this spiritual awakening, being in a deep grief because of my brother death, and plus fucking all my traumas for whole life. And I didn't know what is happening with me, like suddenly I just stopped enjoying my work. I hated this spreadsheet and doing budgets and all this nonsense. Everything went upside down. Like what I believe is important, it stopped like being important, like claiming the ladder or being being this accountant or having new contract. All this bullshit went out of the window. And so lots of questions. Who am I? What am I supposed to do? Like, why am I not enjoying my job? I chose this, and so on and so on. So went through this journey. And then I started really surrendering to my soul. It literally forced me, this whole journey, to open my arms and saying, okay, I'm not fucking accountant. Who am I? Show me. Show me. And I was getting all these insights and signs that I need to work with people. But what way to work with people? And then I realized, because I went through so much shit and I've, overcame so much and feel so much. This is actually my gift. And this is, people were giving me feedback, and this is when I started my transition from being accountant to what I do now. Supporting other people with their awakening and healing and stepping into their power and connecting with their soul journey, soul purpose. Thank you, Evie. The more you grow and the more you activate your light body, you will start seeing things differently, not like this humanly. That's why I am so inviting you to really, of course, if you're ready, because this is for people who are ready. This is not for everyone. And I know that the work I do, it's deep, so it's not for everyone. But if you are ready and you are already on this healing journey, on spiritual journey, if you really dive deep and do whatever you need to do to clear and heal whatever stuff, you're gonna see things differently. You start activating your light body. You start stepping to the next level of consciousness and awareness. You start living from the place of love and opening your heart truly. And you're gonna have different understanding of situation in your life. You're no longer gonna be, no longer trauma and those patterns gonna running your life. And yes, my brother Dev was, I'm telling you, absolutely killer for me, because I felt like I died with him on so many levels. Then I realized that I had actually soul contracts with him, which entangle us even more. That's why just going through normal grief, like a humanly grief, it wasn't not enough for me. And I did so many things and, allow myself to grieve and so on, whatever, like therapy, it's still, I could feel I cannot close and complete the grief, and then until I realized I had soul contracts with him, and I had to literally do some healing on multidimensional level and heal my heart on a spiritual level, on multidimensional level, not only through the humanly experience, but I had to dive on a deeper level, on a different levels where people normally not aware. And I had to untangle myself and also heal my heartstrings, because literally my heart was broken. But on a spiritual level, it was literally like the heartstrings were floating. They were never, like attached to my heart. So that's why no matter what I do, I felt like I couldn't complete my grief until I did some stuff on spiritual and multi-dimensional level, on psychic, psychically, basically. This helped me so much. Literally, I felt relief immediately. So you see, all of this stuff, what I'm just sharing with you, this was my literally learning. And I'm sharing this now with you to help you, so you're not blind as well and thinking, whatever I do, it doesn't work. Sometimes we have to look from the different angles. But definitely I invite you to explore that, because it's fascinating. And it's the more I'm growing, the more I'm expanding, the more I'm learning, even that not only this human level on trauma and whatever, depression, anxiety, but when you go even beyond that, what is happening, it's fascinating. You really learn that we are multidimensional, we are so powerful. And when we clear this, I would say, earthy stuff and humanly drama, and when you really expand to that level of awareness, that you really tap into your soul essence and your soul truth, you're really becoming unstoppable and powerful, but in a very organic and healthy way, without pushing or proving or, I don't know, trying to whatever, I don't know, fit in or whatever, with this ego energy, which most people are. Like you really become this pure essence of who you truly are. And the feeling of that is priceless. Really, no money, no houses, no cars, nothing gives you that feeling when you finally heal enough and expand enough to really tap into these energies. And to be honest, since my awakening, every money I spent on this, on studying with different people, like different healers, different teachers, and I traveled in Asia, and I met amazing people who you wouldn't hear. They don't have any certificates or anything else. They were like embodied that because of their experiences, and I was so fortunate to meet people like that. And they've helped me a lot and activated me many different ways. So it's all about experiencing, but also just what I share. For me, healing and expanding is number one. Like, number one, basically. I didn't have money for all these teachers, ever. Like, I was sharing many times on this live calls that I was literally eating porridge for months because this is what I could afford. So I was buying this 5 kilos package of porridge to eat that, because any pennies I was literally spending on healing or train with certain teachers that my soul was telling me I need to work with her, and I did. I didn't have money. I found the money, or I like literally was eating porridge for months to just be able to be with even being surrounded by this person. This was my commitment. Not everyone is that committed. Some people prefer spending money for parties, for clothes, for nails. And nothing wrong is with this. Everyone have their journey, but I've committed for years now, and I'm still very much committed to this journey, and very much committed to support people who are ready for that. So it's all about choosing what you want in life and committing to that. So I know I was planning this session to be much shorter. So I want you to just close your eyes, and I'm just gonna do quick some downloads and activations for you. So just say out loud or in your heart, or you can type in your in the comments, yes, if I can connect with your energy field. And I'm just gonna do quick activations for this group. So I'm just first asking true guardians of this universe coming here and protecting all of you, protecting this whole group, and shielding all of you with 12 platinum shield, each of you. And I'm asking for closing all these negative portals, closing and shielding your devices and this portal as well. And I'm also calling all of these healing teams, psychic surgeons, and any specialists required to coming here to support this group. And first I'm asking for clearing all the cords with other people's, any entanglements, any cords, any hooks with them, clearing all of that, and also clearing all of that energy that you are connected with collective consciousness. So basically you can pick up other people's depressions or anxiety, fear, anger, and so on. So we are asking for clearing all of that, so you no longer need to be connected with this collective consciousness and experiences in your life. And we're teaching you the difference between what is yours and what is others. And we're teaching you the difference between what is yours and what is collective. So you know the difference. Okay, this is my feeling, this is my stuff to sit with, and this is other people. So you're not mixing this, that you're trying to process other people's emotions or energies or problems and identifying yourself with their stuff. So we're teaching you the difference between knowing and trusting your intuition. Is this mine or is this others? Is this my problem, or have I picked up from my friend, partner, parents, co-workers? So just we're teaching you knowing how to discern what is mine and what is others. Good. And we're teaching you how it feels to trusting your inner intuition, like inner guidance, inner wisdom, and allowing that energy flowing through you and guiding you to right places, right people, right situation, right opportunities. So just receive that, and we're teaching you that it is easy and can be easy to trust your truth, trust yourself, trust your body, trusting your inner guidance, trusting your wisdom. Good. And we're asking for clearing all these devices and implants around you, clearing all these false mirrors around your head, giving you false reflection of who you are. So clearing this, you can literally imagine that you have hammer in your hand and smashing these false mirrors around you. Lots of you have that. All these devices. We're clearing all of that. And all these glass ceilings above your head as well. So you can feel that you can expand and grow even more and heal and see the truth. And okay, we're clearing all these cages around your third eye. So you can finally see who you truly are, but see the bright future, see the truth about others, about yourself, wanting to see the truth in many different ways. So clearing that as well. And lots of you having lots of heavy energy on your shoulders, so connect with your shoulders and just ask yourself, who does this belong to? What you're carrying. Good. And then just releasing, just choose to release what is not yours. If it's your mom problems or partner problems or world problems, let's release that. So we're teaching you how it feels that your shoulders can feel lighter. Very good. And then we're teaching you how it feels and how to live without mothering others, without putting everyone first and you are last. And we're teaching you how it feels in your body to choose you and choose yourself always. Very good. Okay, and I'm sending you beautiful sparkling shower, pink energy flowing through your body, flowing through your cells and your DNA, activating your cells, activating your DNAs, asking for these beautiful activations and up-leveling. Good. I want you to take 2 deep breaths. Breath in and out. And again, breath in and out. And when you're ready, when you're absolutely ready to see yourself in this new energy and new awareness as well, then open your eyes. Beautiful. Thank you. I truly appreciate all of you to be here. If you are with me so long until the end, this means that you are a very brave soul. I normally attract brave souls because I like deep stuff. So normally people who are attracted to me, they like deep stuff as well. And wishing you courage. Wishing you to see this path as an amazing opportunity to transform and staying in your power and transforming whole your life, expanding, stepping to the next level of consciousness and living from your heart, living from the place of love for yourself and for others and for this planet. And wishing you all the best, brave souls. Wishing you happy life and happy day. And I see you next time. Actually, I'm doing next session tomorrow as well. So you are all invited. Check what I'm doing as well. And sending you squashy hugs to you all. And see you next time. Would you like to transform your life? Then book a quantum session on my website. Feel confident and happy again.